So coming into a comfortable position, lightly closing the eyes unless you know they need to be open for some reason. Placing your hands, if you like, in a mudra. Those of you who have been in Yoga 1 numerous times know that you can bring your index finger into the root of your thumb. Palms down is Gyan Mudra, the mudra of knowledge. That's very grounding, especially if you feel like you're having a hard time being here right now. That will be helpful. If you feel like you're sleepy and you've got a lot of energy, or I'm sorry, a lack of energy, bring your palms upward. This is Chin Mudra. Or just have your hands flat on your knees. So with the eyes lightly closed and the body coming into stillness, begin to notice how you feel. First, feeling the base of your body against the floor, so you feel that grounding sensation between your base and the floor beneath you. And then from that base, following the awareness upward through the spine, to the crown of the head. And then start to feel through the whole body, noticing your energy level, any areas of tightness or tension. And as the body stills, shift the attention to the natural breath. Following each breath as it moves in and out. And throughout today's class, going back to the breath, remembering that the breath helps bring us into the present moment. And for those of you who are on a little early today, saw that the quote of the day was another Eckhart Tolle quote. And it was, when you are present in this moment, you break the continuity of your story of past and future. Then true intelligence arises and also love. So using that breath to anchor yourself here right now, because we do a lot of storytelling. And a lot of it is negative self-talk about what we should have done, what we could have done, or worrying about what we don't think we can do. And the thing is, we only have the present moment. And if we could be in that moment, the past is done, can't do anything about it. But that future, we'll be able to make the next best choice, a mindful, conscious choice, instead of acting as we normally would, which might be unconsciously, without thinking of consequences, etc. So just stay for just another moment or so with that natural breath, not letting one of the breaths pass unnoticed. And if you haven't already, you can deepen the breath to help nourish both the body and the brain, bringing a rich supply of oxygen in. If you're tired, that oxygen can wake you up. Continuing to take a few deep yogic breaths or deep abdominal breaths. With every exhalation, releasing any tension, any tiredness. And please take 3 more breaths in this way with full awareness of each breath. And then let the breath return to its natural rate and rhythm, noticing the difference. And then shift the attention to the eyebrow center. And in that point, make a mental picture of a small candle flame or a point of light. We'll begin class with 3 ohms. Breathing in. Just feeling the vibration of Om. And then with awareness, slowly release your posture, bringing one knee in, if sitting cross-legged, stretching your legs out in front of you into the base position. So coming into the base position, continuing with some of these Pawanmuktasanas to get us back in our bodies, getting our joints ready for the more advanced postures that we'll be moving toward as we go through the semester. So we're going to start with toe bending and ankle bending for 15. So sitting up nice and tall, bringing the awareness to your toes, hands behind you or on your thighs. Take a breath in, pull your toes back. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale back. Exhale, squeeze. So maybe on this first 5, just really be aware of the movement. That's it. I'm bending my toes back. I'm squeezing my toes. So 2 more like that. Just aware of the movement. Full focus on that, on your feet, on your toes. And then maybe for the next 5, go to the breath. Now you're focusing on the inhalation as the toes come back, exhalation as they come forward. Inhaling the toes back. Exhaling forward. All the time sitting up nice and tall, working on your posture, your core strength, focusing on the movement, but now really thinking about how the breath is connected to that movement. And then finally, for the last 5, focusing on any sensations. So as you squeeze your toes down, feel that energy. And then feel that release as you move to the toes coming back. 5 like that, with just the awareness on the energy generated and released with each movement. Once you finish 5 of those, do the same thing for the ankle bends. So inhaling, focusing now just on the movement. Keeping your awareness there, giving your mind a break. It's really focusing. Say, oh, look at that. I can bend my ankles back like it's exciting or something. If you have ankle issues, that becomes a problem. So think of this as preventative. And then for the next 5, focus now on integrating that breath, making sure you're breathing fully and deeply in as the foot comes back, out as your toes point, and feeling the sensation too as you're focusing on the breath, noticing how far that movement goes up the legs. And then finally, feeling that energy generated. Noticing any cracking. And after 5 of those 5, for a total of 15 and 15, let your feet relax. Being aware overall of any energy moving within the feet. And for today's class, because we keep running out of time, we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We're going to move over the knees today. We're going to go right into the hips for hip rotation. So Cradling one leg, usually your right leg. So let me mirror you. So grab a hold of your right leg, sitting up nice and tall. Your toes are pointing up of your left leg. And let's just keep this to 8. 8 in each direction. With your focus on the hip. Noticing if it gets sticky. If the knee hurts turning it like that, adjust your foot, your foot position. Maybe you're not holding on to your whole foot. Making whatever adjustments if it doesn't feel good. And then moving right into the opposite direction, continuing to have that left leg stretched out, toes pointing upward. And then, of course, making sure that you bring the knee into the chest to realign the knee before straightening the leg, feeling the difference. Thank you, Brandon. Good job. Now to the other side. Okay, grab hold, sit up nice and tall. Right toes are extended. And now 8 in each direction. I'm trying to focus on the movement. If you're focusing on adding the breath, this is kind of difficult to inhale and exhale in a whole circle. So just focusing on directing the breath maybe into some tightness that you might be experiencing in the hip. And then finally recognizing any energy, any difference, any imbalance, or maybe balance in your hips. And then let's just go to wrist rotations if you'd like. Cross your legs or keep them extended, it's up to you. Bringing your arms out, rolling your shoulders into the socket. We are going to do 15 of these. So I want you to get that. Make sure that you're really starting to understand that upper back and how it can help hold up those heavy arms of yours. But if you do need to bring your hands down at any time, do. There should be maybe a little bit of a bend in your elbow, and you want to make sure your arms are hanging off your neck. Once you get to 15 in one direction, you can give your arms a break if you like and bring them down. Shake your arms out, shake your shoulders out, readjust, and repeat. Really getting a full range of motion, continuing at your own pace. Noticing how the wrists feel. And then once you bring your hands down, feeling through the fingers, feeling through the wrists. And for shoulder socket rotation today, we're just going to do one arm at a time, 4 times in each direction. So go ahead and place your hand on your shoulder. Actually, do your right side. Yeah, thank you. Hand on your shoulder. Take a breath in and out. And then inhale, bring your elbow. See if you can get it to the midline of your body. And then up. Exhale, bring it behind you. Inhale, bring it up. Nice big circle. So I've mentioned in the past, this is a great way to do it if you know you have one shoulder that's not as flexible as the other, because doing them together sometimes is limiting. Once you do for that direction, go forward. You might hear some gristly crackling like I do. And once you finish, just close your eyes for a moment and feel how much energy, like I feel just after those 4 rotations in each direction. I feel warmth here. I feel some warmth radiating down my arms. Maybe you feel it, maybe you don't. Just notice. And then come to the other side. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull that shoulder away from your ears, and then inhale up and back. And this is where I know that the shoulder is not as flexible as the other. It's very tight. And then after 4, go the other way. And bring your arms down. And because 4 just doesn't seem like enough, let's do both for 4 in both directions. So go ahead and bring your hands back up. Exhale, drop them down. 4 in each direction using both. Breathing fully and deeply in as the elbows come in front. Exhaling as you bring the elbows slightly behind you. Pausing. And then reversing, inhaling, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Exhale, trying to bring the elbows together. Inhale, the elbow comes behind. Elbows come behind. All right. One neck movement. Let's do ear to shoulder. So taking a breath in, dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, feeling the stretch along the left side, inhaling, exhaling the other way. Let's do 8 on each side of these. Not rushing the movement, pausing, feeling the stretch in the opposite side, keeping the shoulders down. Okay, and then feeling through the neck. We're going to come down to our abdomen for crocodile. We're going to be following the breath along the spine. So coming onto your belly, we're going to be holding this for about, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. So adjusting for comfort, making sure if you can to bring your big toes together. But the comfort part means that you're going to be organizing your forearms out, in, or maybe you need to be on the back, or you need to be on your stacked wrists, or on the back of your hand. Whatever works for you. And then maybe you start up here, but you adjust. So resting your head in your hands, lightly closing your eyes, allowing your body to be comfortable. So adjusting in, elbows out, whatever it needs to be. Coming to your sweet spot. The eyes are closed or maybe downturned on your nose or a spot in front of you. Draw your awareness to the tailbone. And on your next inhalation, take the awareness with the breath from the tailbone upward to the base of the neck. So inhaling, tailbone to the base of the neck. Pause. Exhaling, base of the neck, back down the tailbone, to the tailbone. Inhale, tailbone to the base of the neck. And then exhale back down. And continuing at your own pace. It may be helpful to visualize a tube running from the tailbone to your neck and sweeping maybe your breath, coloring your breath with your favorite color and moving it. Tailbone, neck, neck, tailbone. So in this semester, we're going to begin to talk a little bit about the chakras. And the chakras are these psychic energy centers, and they're believed to be embedded in the spine, or actually along the spine. And each energy center is associated with a level of awareness, parts of your personality, parts of our individual evolution. And it's believed that when we bring our awareness to them, individually or collectively, and even passively, as you're doing right now, we're opening them up. And through that effort, we can release any blockages and eventually move toward our higher self. So just take a few more breaths in this way, moving from the tailbone to the base of the neck and then back down again. Adjusting if you need to, not being in pain, but put your hands, stacking them up one on top of the other in fists or on the back of your hands. And take 3 more breaths once you get to the tailbone again. Take 3 more breaths up and down mindfully, and then release. Releasing down in Advasana. You can have your arms extended above your head, resting your head on your mat. And then bringing your hands beneath you, moving into some very simple cat-cows, and then into dynamic and static mountain pose. So static mountain pose is where we hold it. It's always not so comfortable. So placing your hands beneath your shoulders, grabbing the ground, knees are hip width apart. We're going to do up to 10 of these. Soft bend in your elbows. Inhale, arching your back again. Visualizing that spine. Exhale, rounding your back. Pulling your belly button up towards your spine. Inhale, arching your back. Exhale, rounding. Continuing on for another 8 more. Just being aware of the movement, the breath, and the energy. Most of us have the personalities that go, go, go. We don't give ourselves an opportunity to take care of ourselves. We think that if we're doing something physical, it needs to be we need to exert ourselves, we need to get our heart rates up. And that's true to a point, but not in everything that we do. So this is the time to balance out. So really enjoy the movement in the present moment, but also know that your future moments are going to be hopefully more comfortable because of the time you're taking right now. So once you get to a total of 10, press your hips back into child's pose, or as we now are going to call it in this class, Shashangasana, air pose. Then we're going to come into table, moving into a dynamic mountain pose. Now we're going to hold it for about 2 minutes, and then in holding it, I'll give you all your cues to change your feet position. Most of those you already know, but if you've forgotten, I'll remind you. So remember, for mountain pose, you put your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and no matter what you do with your feet, if you're holding it or moving up and down dynamically, your hands don't move. So that becomes, they stay the same position. So directly underneath your shoulders, grab the ground, roll your toes under. Inhale, press those hips up. Exhale, let your head hang. Inhale, onto the toes, stretching. Really feel that stretch in your toes. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up. Exhale back, letting your head hang between your arms, feeling the stretch on the back of your body. Inhale onto the toes. Exhale straight back down. 8 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale onto the toes. Exhale back down. Moving at your own pace for the next 7, and then holding once you get to that last one. Remember, at any time, if you have issues with your arms or your wrists, you can always come to the wall. Standing away from the wall, bringing your arms up, so that way you're taking out all of the weight on your wrists and getting a lot of the flexibility benefits. So 10 dynamically, 2 breaths for each one. When you get to that last one, holding. So taking your time getting there when you get there. But once you're there, your feet and arms start out parallel. Okay, you don't worry so much about getting your heels down as you do about pressing your hips back. Thinking about why in this tradition we call it mountain pose. Your body should look like a mountain, a perfect triangle. And then taking the feet wide if there's so much tension in the hamstrings. Walking your heels with the feet wide or together. And then my personal favorite, bending your knees to your chest, pressing your hips back. So now the stretch goes right into the mid-back, which is a very difficult place to stretch. You're taking it out of the arms, so it's not so much weight bearing and on your wrists. And just hang on to this for another 45 seconds or so. Stay with it. I'm watching. So just let your head hang. Press your hips back. That'll help take some of the pressure off your wrist. Grab the ground. Use your upper back muscles. 30 more seconds. Pressing those hips back. 10 seconds. And then coming up onto the toes, coming back into table, pressing your hips back into Shashankasana, hair pose. Maybe taking your arms behind you to give your arms a break. Releasing them fully. And then coming up through mountain pose to a standing position. So coming up through mountain, walking your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, bending the knees, pressing down through your feet, rolling up slowly as you press through the floor, lifting your head last. So we're going to do one balance pose. So it's really kind of hard to see my feet, but I'm kind of too close. But anyway, so coming to the position, coming to the space where you're, the point on your mat where you know you can have your feet flat. They're about a fist distance apart. And from here, let's start with our right leg. So find your focal point. We're going to do a very simple tree pose. Shift your weight to your right side, placing your foot alongside your standing leg. With your eye on your focal point, adjust your foot. Maybe you have the flexibility to bring your heel to your groin. Now that tends to stay the best, but some of you might not have that flexibility, so don't even worry about it. Bring it back down. Belly button's pulled in. As long as the foot is below the knee, hands can be at the heart. Keep opening up the hip. Hands can be above the head, stretching upward. Taking a few deep breaths. And right before you're about to fall over, know that you can come out without falling over. Just bring your hands down gracefully. Nice, very nice. Bring your foot back to the floor and go to the other side. So try it a couple times on each side. Really thinking about first, like starting from the ground up. Where are your feet? Shifting your weight, pressing that standing foot down. But at the same time, taking that deep breath and lifting up through the crown of your head. Activating your core by pulling your belly button in, and then keeping your eye focused on something. That will help. As your arms are coming above your head, think about pressing down with your foot and stretching up with your fingers. It's going to help like a taffy pull. It's going to keep you a little bit more balanced. So try it 2 times on each side, maybe holding the final pose for about 5 breaths. Good. Watching the placement of your foot. So if it's right against your knee, maybe put it below the knee or above. So you're not jamming your foot in your knee. And then when you're finished, coming to a standing Shavasana. So after you've done it twice on each side, coming into a standing Shavasana. So balance poses, just so feeling through the body, closing the eyes. Balance poses not only work on our physical balance, they work on our energetic balance. Okay, so we can change our energetic balance through moving through asana in different ways, starting with one side if we need to generate energy for the opposing energy passageway. So just notice as you're standing in base position, standing base position, noticing your energy, noting as you went through those poses, is there one side that's easier than the other? And that could be just for today, or could be a regular thing for you. Sometimes, our energy changes every hour and a half. The dominant energetic side, right side, left side, change every hour and a half or so. So just notice how you feel after that posture and what came before it. And then get what you need to be comfortable as you make your way down onto your mats for Yoga Nidra. So taking the time, if you know your back is tight, to take that blanket. These Mexican blankets are really awesome. We have them, as you know, most of you know, we have them in the class. They're great. Placing them underneath your knees or behind your thighs. And I know all of you have taken class with me before, so you know that you know enough about your body to make those adjustments. And it was fun today to watch the Yoga Ones. And it's interesting in this format too, to just watch, because as much as when I'm in front of everybody, I keep an eye on the group as a whole. When there's stillness in all of the little boxes and somebody moves, it's really noticeable. It catches my eye. And there are so many people that chose not to do what I said, and they've got all the props around them, their pillows, their comforters, and still they're not using them. So taking the time up front will help you have a more positive experience. And remembering that the goal for the practice is to remain as still as possible, stay awake, and stay alert. And staying alert means following the instructions. So I thus thought of follow the instructions on the pin pad from Giant Eagle. So follow the instructions that Chris is giving you. And when your mind wanders, come back to those instructions. For today's practice, we will be introducing the Sankalpa at the beginning and the end. So if you do not have one yet, please take a look at Or if you need a new one, please take a look at all of that information in Blackboard, and it'll tell you all about Sankalpa and how to choose an appropriate one for yourself. So checking to see that your spine is straight, your head is to the center, and that you're comfortable. Checking the balance or imbalance within the body, posture-wise or weight-wise, and make the appropriate movements. And then make a gentle resolution for stillness. Saying to yourself mentally, I am now going to practice Yoga Nidra. I will remain awake. I will remain aware. Become aware of your whole body lying on the floor, making that mind-body connection, feeling your feet in their position, ankles, knees, hips, pelvis, torso, shoulders, both arms, hands, and your head. Full attention to your body and its position. And take 3 deep breaths in and out, using the breath to release any remaining tension. And with each exhalation, feeling the muscles relax and release into the floor beneath you. Scan your body front and back and notice any sensations against the skin. Moving from one sensation to the next. Feel the cool air against any exposed areas. Make a mental picture of the room around you. Visualizing as many aspects as possible, the contents of the room, your position within it. Now listen for sounds around you. Moving the attention from one sound to the next. Listen for the furthest sound away, then come closer to sounds in the immediate area. Then come even closer, listening for digestive noises. The gentle beating of your heart. The soft, soothing sound of your natural breath. Bringing your full attention, full awareness to each breath as it moves in and out. Now is the time to remember your Sankalpa, your resolve, that short, positive statement of something that you would like to see come true in your life. If you have one, repeat it 3 times mentally with full faith and commitment. If you do not yet have one, see what might arise during this period. Beginning with body rotation. Bring the awareness to the right side of the body, specifically to the right hand. Right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the ribs, right side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, instep, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Check the awareness, move to the left side. Become aware of the left hand. Left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the ribs, left side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, instep, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Check the awareness, stay awake, stay with the instructions, and go to the top of the head. Top of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, where the lips come together. Right side of the jaw, left side of the jaw, chin, front of the neck. Right collarbone, left collarbone, the hollow between. Right side of the chest, left side of the chest, center of the chest. Upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, pelvis. Check the awareness, stay awake. Go to the back of the body. Right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, spine. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head. Become aware of the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm. Become aware of the torso, neck, head. Become aware of both legs together, right and left. The two arms together, torso, neck, head. Become aware of the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Leaving body rotation, bring the awareness to the breath. Specifically to the breath in the abdomen. Take the focus to the breath in the abdomen, watching the gentle rise and fall of the navel with each breath. Breathing in, navel rises. Breathing out, navel falls. Perhaps mentally repeating that. Inhale, navel rises. Exhale, the navel falls. Stay connected. Stay aware of the breath in the abdomen. Keeping the focus on the rise and fall of the navel, begin to count the breath backward from the number 18 down to the number 1. Beginning by breathing in 18, navel rises. Breathing out 18, the navel falls. Breathing in 17, navel rises. Breathing out 17, the navel falls. And continue down to the number 1. Stay awake, following the breath at the navel, counting each breath backward from the number 18 down to the number 1. While following the breath, if the count is lost or in question, begin again at 18. If one is reached, also begin again at 18. Stay with the practice, following each breath with the count 18 down to 1. Now it's time to release the count. So let go of the count. Relax any efforts of counting the breath. And it's time once again to also remember your sankalpa, your resolve. If you have one, repeat it 3 times mentally with full faith that it will come true someday. Bring the awareness to the sounds around you again, making an effort to actively listen for different sounds. Soft sounds and loud sounds, near and far sounds. Make a mental picture of the room around you. Mentally picturing the walls, the ceiling, the windows, the doors, the furniture. As many aspects of the room as possible, but most importantly, your position within it. You can hover above, around the ceiling, looking down, and see if you can find yourself seeing your body lying on the floor in Shavasana, making out the clothing that you've chosen today, making a full connection to your body's position in relation to the room. Scan your body front and back, and once again, become aware of anything touching the skin, feeling any sensations against the skin, cool air against exposed areas of skin, and then drawing the attention specifically to the sensations on the back of the body, feeling the full weight of your body against the floor. Bringing the awareness to the heels firmly against the floor. Feeling the calves against the floor, the back of the legs and buttocks against the floor. Feeling the whole of the back, both shoulders, arms, hands, and that heavy head, all resting against the floor. Then shift the attention back to the breath. From the body to the breath, noticing that you are breathing, connecting with the breath, and then with effort, beginning to deepen it. Using the breath to further externalize your awareness. With every breath in, feeling the chest rise and fall. Feeling movement in the abdomen. And with every deep breath, feeling your regular level of alertness slowly coming back. Remembering what you did before this class, some elements of the class itself, but most importantly, what you're doing now, that this class is coming to an end. And say to yourself mentally, this practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. You may begin to release your posture by moving your hands, moving your feet, slowly moving your head to release your neck from side to side, perhaps bringing one knee and then the other into your chest to release your low back. Moving it whatever way feels good to you as you slowly make your way up to a seated position, like to keeping the eyes closed or half closed so that you can sit up and we can end the class the way we started with 3 ohms. So coming back into that seated position, cross-legged or base, whatever's comfortable. Bookending our class, checking in with how we feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. And perhaps making or having the intention to do some kind of practice between now and next Wednesday when we see each other again, because we are off on Monday. Bringing the awareness to the eyebrow center, picturing there a point of light or a small candled flame at the seat of the intuition, Agya chakra. Finishing with 3 ohms, taking a breath in here. Feeling the vibration of Om, bringing your hands to your heart in the prayer position, and taking one more mindful breath in and out. And slowly releasing your posture, turning on your mics so I can say hi to you and bye to you.